It's your boy King Leo coming at you with an all new video. First video in like a week. And we're going to talk about our favorite guilty pleasure, 60 days in. We're winding down. We only have one episode left, and that's the season finale. So, these things are heating up in there. And this is probably one of my favorite episodes of this season. It's been no secret, I told you, this has probably been my least favorite season, but still enjoyable. You know, I love this show. It's very entertaining. But I feel like this one, it was full of, this episode right here was full of shenanigans. It was full of BS, and it gave me what I wanted to see. So we're gonna talk about this episode. We gotta continue off from last week, and last week we had David, you know, the kingpin, the enforcer of the kinsfolk, thinking he was above everybody, just making all kind of moves that wasn't smart and wasn't safe for people. And he went and talked to a DO, Bratcher, and the producers were pretty worried about that because he was gone for a long time. Plus, he was saying things that made them feel like he was about to blow his cover. And he pretty much lied to them and said that he didn't do that. But all the viewers know he pretty much did. So the sheriff came this episode and talked to him. And he was still kind of denying it at first. He was just giving them bits and pieces. He wasn't really trying to fess up to what he did. And then when he was caught, he was getting so defensive. He was just like, it was like, just own up to what you did. Like, you did what you did, and it was a stupid move. Like, you put yourself in danger, you put other people in danger, and there was no need for it because you weren't like in a bad position. You were sitting comfortable where you were this whole season, and you had power, and you were almost at the end of the journey, so you had no need to blow your cover and just tell somebody what's going on. And that like sacrifices the other people in there, and for future seasons, like if you blow this whole thing up, they can't do this again in there. So I just feel like David was just full of it this episode. Mark is worried after this, and Mark has good reason to be worried because he's alone in his pod now. David's not there anymore, and David kind of kept things together. You know, he was good at making peace, but still, well, originally making peace and like following the law of the land. But it's like now that he's gone, it's like anarchy now. It's just like chaos. And one of the main things David did before he left, is let Dylan, one of the white guys, come to his crew, which is not supposed to happen. He's supposed to stay with the whites, and that basically put a target on his back. But as long as David was there, Dylan was going to be safe. Nobody was going to mess with him. David's gone now, and it's just not looking good. They're conspiring, they're talking, they're whispering, they're planning, and they feel like their chance to get Dylan. So David, they basically tell him he's done. He's gone. He has to leave. So they roll him out. They get his paperwork. They get him situated. And he's still being cocky. Like, he's just, like, acting like he's the king. Like, no kind of remorse for what he did. And at this point, I'm like, get out of here. And I saw him on Twitter, like, defending his actions all night. To me, there's no defense for that. You can blame editing. You can say this happened. You can say this happened. You could, like, try to make it seem like we don't know what it's like to be in there and all kind of stuff. But it's no explanation. You did what you did, and there was no need for it. So, and then afterwards, the way you're acting about it, it's like, at least like be apologetic about it. No, you're just going about it all wrong. So it's like, he's out of here. Get him out of there. Take him. They sequester him until the other inmates are out. So that's that right there. So the sheriff talks to the other his men, and they're just like really disappointed in David, and basically they're like, this is what needs to be done, and they're hoping the whole program is compromised at this point because of him blowing his cover and telling the DO basically that he was a cop and a part of this program. So they're trying to make sure that everyone is safe in there and that they can still continue with this program. So they have to really get their surveillance on and make sure everything is okay. Now we go to the women. And the women they finally got rid of the Jasmine issue. She's out of there, so they don't have to deal with that anymore. But here emerges a brand new problem for them. And her name is Trish. And they're going to wish they had Jasmine back dealing with this one right here. Because Trish is not to be messed with. So Brooke, I feel like Brooke has been handling herself great this entire program. And she's laying low. She's always observant. And she's there for the mission, and that's to find out things. So she's talking to Trish, and she finds out that Trish does tattoos, which I don't think is supposed to be happening in there. So that's basically contraband, her tattoo material. She also finds out that Trish may have drugs. So, you know, that's her mission right there, to find out where the drugs are coming from. And then she also sees at the bottom of Trish's shoe, there's a screw, which could be used as a weapon. So this immediately, Brooke is like, she's like, that's dangerous. That could be dangerous to other people. That could be dangerous for me. And I just thought she would leave it alone, but we see later she's not going to leave that alone. Okay, Abner. So Abner is worried about B. Shaw. B. Shaw just came back into the pod, and he got a note basically saying that his boy David from over on the other side and all kind of stuff, so they know that he knows David now. And that's the big issue for him, because he's the Chicanos, David's with the kinfolk, they're not supposed to be associated any kind of way. He told them that he knew nobody in there. So David comes in there and be sure, and it's like, you know, he addresses the issue like, yeah, I know that you know him, but he, again, like last week, he doesn't make it too hot, but he lets the situation be known. But this, you know, this gets Abner kind of worried. He's like, he don't know what the next move is going to be. He was like, is this going to make them question me? Is this going to put doubt in their heads about my story? So he's just being very observant right now. So now Dylan is a target. Dylan, he doesn't have the protection of David anymore, and it's not looking good for him. The Woods, the Whites, are just like ready to pounce on him. They're talking, they're meeting, and he knows what's up. They all know what's up. And then at one point, they see his shoes, one of the guy's shoes is off. So they know at that point, they're ready to fight. So instead of getting caught off guard, you know, the blacks are talking to Dylan. They were like, just approach him and just handle it. So he goes to one of the guys. He's like, I want to talk to you. And he basically points him to the direction upstairs. And once you do that, you know what's up. You know he's ready for a fight. So the guy was like, you really want to do that? I'll go upstairs anytime with you. So he takes his shoes off too. They go upstairs. They take their shirts off. They're ready for a fight. And they start fighting. And Dylan gets pretty messed up in this fight. And I feel bad for him, because I think it's not over for him. Even when this whole show is gone, he's going to have issues while he's in there. And hopefully he could find his way out of the situation, because they're going to probably continue to mess with him. And from the looks of this, he probably can fight. The other guy was bigger than him, but he was the one who ended up bloody and messed up. And they ended up both getting in trouble and both getting taken out. Let's talk about Brooke now again. So I told you about Brooke and Trish. And so Brooke decided to send a kite. That's when you like make a complaint to the DOs, basically saying that someone had contraband, a shank in the pod, and she was talking about Trish. And the DOs came in there basically for a search. They came in there ready, so everybody get out. They're gonna search their pods, but they weren't really aggressive about it, and they weren't like no sense of urgency. I thought it was just a random search at first, but then when Brooke was talking, she was like, no, she sent in a kite, so she wanted this to happen. So they know what they were looking for. So I felt like there should be more urgency to go like really aggressive and hard, but they gave too much time for things to be hidden and things to just be worked out before they got there. So in the end, the DOs find nothing, and they searched the bottom first, and Trish is upstairs, and she has all the time in the world to hide this thing. So I'm like, you know, nothing's found, and I thought that would be the end of that, but it wasn't. Abner is growing suspicions. He's getting more and more worried. And this is really taking a toll on him. He sees people talking and conspiring, and he's just feeling like they think he's lying, and he really can't handle it right now. It's really getting to his head, and he's like on the lookout, and he sees a whole bunch of people talking in the room. It's actually white guys and the black guys, and that usually doesn't happen too much. So he sends one of his guys into the room, and as soon as he sends his guys in, it's silent. They stop talking. So he automatically knows right there they're talking about him. So he's even more worried right now, and I don't blame him. Like, he probably does have a target on his back, so he's gonna be more vigilant now and pay attention to what's going on, because he don't want to get caught off guard. And that's unfortunate that David put him in that situation for his own selfishness. So after the whole raid through the pod, Trish is just like, we got a snitch in here. And she thinks that she's talking to the other people and she thinks it's Brooke. She was like, Brooke was the only one I showed that to, so it has to be Brooke. And then after this, Trish is just on an attack about Brooke. She was like, Barbie does not belong here. She doesn't look like us. She's too pretty. She has all her teeth. She doesn't look like she's ever taken drugs. She was like, something is not right about this shit. And then she throws Vivian into the mix too. Vivian, who's like the Latina girl. And she's like, her too. She doesn't belong here. She's too pretty. She doesn't look like us. She doesn't act like us. She doesn't belong here. So she approaches Jasmine about this. You know, Jasmine's part of the program too. But Jasmine, low-key, looks like like she belongs in there. I know she could fix herself up together because I seen her before she got in there. But she's looking real rough right now. So she's blending in with everybody. So Trish goes to her. She's like, those two don't belong here. She was like, and Jasmine's like, really? Oh. So Jasmine's just like, ugh. She's in a tough position right now. But what I don't understand about this, someone just approached you about these two people saying they don't seem right. They seem like they're probably snitches. And you're going to talk to them right away in front of her. You're just making it too hot. The women haven't been smart about this the whole time. Like, if somebody told you something about these two, you wait. You talk to them at a time when you're alone. Not in front of everybody right away. You're going to these people and like, they're suspicious about you. Nah, that's just too, you're making it too hot. And that's not a good situation right there. So after everything's going down, you know, people are getting suspicious. I don't know why. Maybe because of what David did. But word is traveling that maybe this thing is 60 days in and something's going wrong in the pod. So the Whites send out a message to all the people. We're not doing no more interviews. We're not doing interviews with the cameras no more. And Mark does the interview. I don't know. I don't know if I would have pulled that move. I don't know if he's obligated to do the interview. But I probably wouldn't have did it. They was like, we're not doing it no more, and if you do it, you're targeting, you're putting a target on your back. So I don't know why Mark did it. Maybe he did it to let the producers know he's in trouble. But he went there, but they're not messing with the cameras no more. They feel like it's a snitch situation. So this is not looking good. This whole episode is just going downhill. First, David blows his cover to a DO. He tells somebody he knows somebody else in another pod. The Whites are now saying this is the snitch thing. We're not talking to the cameras no more. And they're attacking one of the guys who wanted to roll with the blacks. And then one of the girls done basically figured out that two of these people are snitches. And now, going back to the girls, Trish is like talking to Jasmine at some point, and Jasmine's in her room talking about her stomach hurt, you know, kind of stuff. Trish is talking to her, and she's like, I got what you need. I got some allergy stuff. I got this. I got anything you need. And then Jasmine's like playing it up. Yeah, you like the pharmaceutical person in here. She's like, I'm more than that. I'm this, I'm that, I'm this. I got anything you need. So... And Jasmine, it's just so stupid. I feel like she just falls into her trap. And she's like, really? You know, stuff? She's like, y'all be getting meth? She's like, you get meth? She's like, next time you get some meth, get some for me. And that's where she messes up because, like, you've been in this all the time. You show no interest of wanting any kind of drug. And then you can go straight hardcore to meth. And, like, you just made yourself look mad suspicious like you're just fishing for information. And then Trish is like, I don't believe that for a second. She's like, I don't believe that at all. She was like, you too pretty for that. You don't look like you ever did drugs. You don't do that. She was like, I'm on to you. I'm on to all three of y'all. She like, something ain't right about y'all. And at that point, I would have been scared. But Jasmine just played it off. She's like, girl, you crazy. But it's like, you messed up. You walked right into her trap. And now that I think about it, I think Trish showing Brooke the screw, I think that was a setup too. I don't think it was real. I think she wanted to show her to see if Brooke was snitch. And right after she showed her that screw, my theory, I think she probably just confiscated it, put it down the toilet, threw it in garbage. She did something with it. She wasn't going to get in trouble for that. She wanted to see if Brooke was going to snitch, and Brooke snitched. So she knows who the snitch was if that's the only one she showed that to. And Brooke fell into her trap, I believe. So it's like Trish is on to all three of them. So this is not looking good. Like, everybody's basically compromised right now. There's got a woman in there who basically feels like all three of the participants are the participants. The people are saying don't talk to the cameras no more. One person done snitched to a DO saying that this is the program. And another guy is getting suspicious looks from all sides. And Abner's really like nervous right now. He can't even sleep. He's in this powerful lockdown at the end of the night. And he's just sitting up like one eye open because he don't want anybody to attack him in his sleep. He's even looking like he's about to throw up a signal to get out of there. I didn't know you could do that during lockdown when it's nighttime, you're about to go to sleep. But we'll see what's gonna happen. Next week is the season finale. It's looking like they're gonna have to get them out of there, and that's unfortunate, but their safety is the biggest thing. So we have one more episode. I'm looking forward to that. See how they get them all out of there. But at this point, people are suspicious, so they don't even got to play it cool and take them out one by one. They just take them all out at one time. It's like you're not gonna be able to do a second season at this location. They take them out, make sure they're safe, and then I'm looking forward to this reunion. It wasn't too much drama between the participants, but I think David's gonna take a lot of heat at this reunion, and I'm looking forward to that. And I think he deserves all that heat. Even though I liked him the whole season, I felt like he was a boss and he was basically doing the best at this program, but he made some mistakes at the end, and I felt like he should face some repercussions for his actions. So yeah, that's that. So we got one episode next week, and we'll be looking forward to it. It's been your boy King Leo here with another video, and I'll be back with y'all. I'm out.